In Prospects 5.0 project, we are exploring Industry 5.0 adoption through different use cases. And today, we meet one of our use cases in order to ask how they introduce Industry 5.0 practices, what progress has been made, and some challenges or lessons learned. So hello, Tiago, thank you for joining us. Could you please introduce yourself and your company?
Very well. So my name is Tiago, and I am from a Portuguese company called AMF. So AMF produces technical footwear, basically safety footwear, occupational footwear for all kinds of works in the industry. We have a motto of expansion and development in terms of technology, and that's one of the main reasons why we decided to join the project. We try to make it as different as possible from the rest of the industry. So the point is to look to the shoes and to not see that they are actually technical footwear. And we started by design, but we are also moving to new technologies of production. And since we are speaking of three main pillars in the project, the Prospects 5.0, one of them is the technology progression and evolution.
A common situation when technology in these three pillars is like one that understandable by companies, but what about others? How do you implement human centricity and resiliency?
Sometimes it can be, we can have a small conflict of ideas, especially when we are combining human centricity with the technology evolution. But in our case, especially what we are doing now with our expansion plan, and to develop the production technology to a point where we will only need as minimum as persons in the production side to produce safety shoes, and the rest of the people can be dedicated to different areas on the warehouses, for example, and in other places.
And you bring some specific examples to the table?
So basically, our use case is the Infinity technology, where basically we can produce a safety shoe with only 3 persons and basically 2 single operations. We are reducing the number of operations from 18 to 2 or even 1 operation. Those persons then in the future could be diverted to some other operations in the company with more lighter tasks and with more productivity in the workplace. So that's why sometimes we need to understand that the goal in different pillars can be the same, so one doesn't need to be in conflict with the other.
And in terms of benefits, what benefits can you explicitly see from this use case implementation? Is there some influence of to employees and some employer acceptance maybe?
A specific issue related with our technology is now the implementation of sustainable practices in the workplace. So that was something that some years ago we were not looking with so much, let's say, importance in our industry, because we have specific standards to follow, and of course we can go to some basic stuff like energy consumption, but also in the type of material durability resistance that we are now applying in our shoes.
And these benefits is clear, but what about some barriers or challenges?
Let's say that probably the main barrier is that the standards in place for safety regulation in Europe on the safety shoes industry are not probably adapted or prepared for sustainable materials. So this is our main barrier, and then of course the technology itself, and to change the mentality of our employees.
If you can share with other companies who are just thinking about this transition but didn't start it yet, some practical advice or some tips?
So we will need to do it sooner or later. It could start now than to wait some years and then to stay behind of the competition. That Prospects 5.0 can be like a good guideline
source of information.
information.
Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and suggestions.